Hi, hope you've been doing well. As usual, I open my journal and start searching for a page to work on. The pages have been narrowed down since this journal is almost full, and I settled on this blue and green page on the left hand side. I knew what I was going to be journaling about, so I just went through my scraps and pulled out a few things which would match the theme. I pulled out all sorts of things like wallpaper, tissue paper, cardboard scraps, and all other random shit. I didn't like that green page because it didn't suit the theme I was going with, so I had this blue paper which I cut out and stuck it on the top. And I just added some washi tape along the spine to prevent that from lifting up every time. I was going to create a pocket on that page, which is why I only covered the top half of it. And so I had this random scrap of sandpaper which I cut down to size and I stapled it onto the page to create that pocket. I liked the way it added texture to the journal and it was really pretty because sandpaper is kind of shiny. And then I had this piece of cardboard which came from a perfume box and it's got this gold print on it and it suited the theme. I was going to staple it, but then I realized I had a pocket on the other side, so I settled on using double-sided tape. By the way, this journal spread is about a book I have read, and as usual, I love journaling about books I have read. So, this whole thing is going to be based on the theme of the book, anything that matched the vibe of the book. And then over here I got characters which I quickly just drew off camera, and am trying to figure out where to put them in. I had nothing figured out at that point, so I skipped it for now and I went down to trimming this linen printable because again it suited the theme and I'm trying to see where it will fit. Eventually, I took this piece of a paper bag and I trimmed it down to make it a rectangle size and folded it down just enough so that it could fit in that black and gold tuck spot. I decided to make that my journaling space, and it was a bit too big, so I had to fold it down all over again. And then I just stuck the printable on that, and the flower would peek out from the pocket. And then I had this piece of lilac purple cardboard which I just stuck onto the sandpaper using double-sided tape, and now I'm going in and pasting down my characters. After fiddling with it for a while, I finally figured out a way to stick them without having them on the front of the spread. I'd prefer to have them hidden in the spread. Once that was done, I moved on to decorations. I took some washi tape and I used it along the top just to add some pink onto the page. And then I just went in with a few stickers to fill the space up. And on the sandpaper, I had to use some school glue to get the things to stick onto it because sandpaper is a bit rough and it's a tricky texture to get something to stick onto. And then I just used one of these Tom Holtz word stickers which went with the vibe of the book. And to finish it off, I just added a strip of white washi tape along the top just for a little touch up. And then I finally went in and wrote the name of the book and just a little bit about it on that label, and the rest of the journaling I do later on. Now I'm moving on to another spread. So I've always loved painting galaxies and galaxy skies, anything of that sort in general. And I had a few from when I was much younger. And then I have a few of the ones I've did digitally in the past year. And I have a few other prints which I've created digitally and printed them out. And I'm just going to try incorporate these into the spread. And so I'm looking for a page to journal that on. I'm just going to be sticking everything onto the page just to look at. There's nothing really to be written. And so I take this pink and blue one and it kind of matches the little hint of pink and blue which is sticking out from the side of the journal, if you can see it. And I wanted to staple it down, but I had second thoughts for some reason and eventually just ended up using double-sided tape to attach it to that wallpaper page. And then I had another one which I just used glue stick for and I attached it there too. These were done with oil pastels, I think. I don't remember. I was really young when I did these and I find it cute to have a comparison between how I used to do it and how I do it now. So I'm just trimming a few down because only two can fit on this page and the rest I'll be journaling about that in a moment. So I cut them down and attached them using double-sided tape. I'm pretty sure you can tell I love using double-sided tape if I'm not stapling anything to the page. I just find that it's really nice and strong. And then I just added a few labels here and there just to annotate a little bit about what's going on. Oh yes, and then I take some of this decorative tape and trim out a few flowers to attach as decoration around the page. This is my first time using these because I kind of hoarded these. They were too precious to be using, and I feel really proud of myself for finally using this in my journal instead of just looking at it and saying next time. So I just annotated the dates and the years I did those in, and then I'm moving on to another page to complete the rest of the galaxy spreads. And I was lucky I stumbled across these 3 pages which were blank in a row, and that was all thanks to that paper clip which was loose. So I started off by trimming tiny strips of those patterned papers which I designed. I didn't want to use the whole thing, I just wanted to document the pattern. And then I just cut up everything into little squares. I bordered these two with white paper, and now I'm just gonna basically paste everything down in kind of like a collage. As for the Galaxy digital drawings, which you can see on my Instagram, I just pasted these directly onto the page, and I'm going to be putting labels underneath them if I need to write anything about it. These are not from this year, these are from last year. I will be making another spread about the ones I did this year. Anyways, I'm just pasting these down, and these are the ones which were my absolute favorite from them all. And then I have these labels which I designed too, and I'm just trimming that and trying to incorporate it into the spread as well. And if anyone is wondering, I used IBIS Paint on my phone to do these with my finger. Also, I would like to know if you prefer the previous video style where everything was sped up, or do you prefer the real-time version as it is now? And I'd also like to know if you prefer having me voice over the videos, or do you just prefer having text and no talking? Also, if you want to know how I created these digital drawings, let me know. I might be posting them as shorts. Anyways, the page looked a bit blank still, so I just bordered everything in this thin black line, and then I journaled in white pen over the black labels. And then just for a little bit of more decoration, I just added washi tape along the tops of all of those pictures. By the way, I printed these on normal copy paper. There's nothing special about them. I just wanted to document it physically because I didn't feel too safe having these precious drawings on my phone, which could be lost at any given moment. And that's the end of the spread. I hope you enjoyed it. I personally enjoyed this spread a lot because it was about things which are precious to me and things which I am currently obsessed with. And that is my journaling, which I did inside. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and bye.